Hello everyone, my name is Zacharias, and this is Thank You Universe. Much love to all my friends and allies tuning in today. Now today we're going to talk about a serious topic. We're going to talk about the narcissist and surviving and thriving after narcissistic abuse. And I know if you've been abused by a narcissist, you're not in a good place, but we're going to try and put a positive spin on things because we can heal and we can survive. So remember that the narcissist will never change. That's something that you really have to get into your head, because this person really got under your skin, and so you're always going to be trying to go back to them. So that's the first thing that you need to realize, is that you have an addiction to this person. You have a chemical addiction to the narcissist. So this is how this works. When the narcissist abuses you and creates all this trauma in your life, you're in such a heightened state. You're in such an alert, unsafe, traumatic survival mode state, because the narcissist is constantly throwing you for a loop. They're like, toxicity, attacking, oh I love you, love bombing, and they're always switching it up with you, so you never have a solid grounding. So you're thinking, how could being abused in such a way addict me to this person? Well, you get addicted to them because they are also the one providing the relief. You're in a relationship with this person, and when things are good and when they actually give you those little morsels of love, I mean, I don't really want to call it love because it's not love, it's like a pat on the back for being a good supply to them. They create such a relief sensation in you because they're the one creating the trauma, but they're relieving it. It's like Stockholm Syndrome. Like when they're like, oh, I've captured your soul, but maybe I'll let you go. And then you're like, wow, that would be so great. It's just like that relief that you get when the narcissist shows you affection or approves of you, because they make you feel terrible about yourself. So when you get that affection, it floods your brain with serotonin and dopamine and all these good feeling hormones. So you have a literal chemical addiction to them, and that's not healthy. So you need to really realize that so you can get over it. So that's the first step. The second step is realizing that they didn't love you, at least not like you loved them. So you really tried with this person. You saw their flaws, you saw their struggles, you saw all the things that they went through, but they didn't make the same effort for you, and they didn't love you really, because to a narcissist, you might be their partner, their husband, their wife, whatever it is, you are just a supply to them. Ultimately, they cannot show you the real love that two people could give to each other in an ideal, beautiful relationship, because you are a supply to them. You are their emotional validation. You are a resource to them. You're like toast for breakfast. Like, it's not love, you're just feeding them. That's what I meant by toast. Like, you're something so simple, so mundane. When you're giving your soul to this person and you're dying for this person, you're just a supply to them. So they don't love you like you love them, and you deserve so much better than that. So you gotta move along and move on from your narcissist. So that takes me to step number 3, which is accepting that you love them. Now, a lot of times after the relationship ends, whether the narcissist discarded you or you did the amazing job of getting out yourself, good job to you, you said enough is enough, and you broke up with them, you will try to think of them in a different way and say, oh, I hate them, they're so horrible, they were toxic, how could they do this to me? So when you resist that you love them, you're creating this energetic block in your healing process. You need to allow it, allow those emotions through, allow it to flow, and go through your mourning phase and get over it. Because if you try and pretend like you didn't love this person, you're going to be stuck on that. You're going to be stuck with the resentment and the anger. You have to admit that you love the person so you can let it go. It's okay. Everyone makes mistakes. You thought this person was the love of your life, but it turns out they were an abuser, you know? And you love them. And that doesn't make you a bad person. In fact, you're amazing for being able to love someone like that despite all the abuse that you went through. But you got to stay away, which takes me into the fourth point, which is you can love them, but you gotta love them from a distance and go absolutely zero, big fat null, nothing, no contact. It is the only way. Yes, it's hard, but you gotta do it. So you cannot slowly wean yourself off of a narcissist. Remember, this was a strong chemical addiction going on in your head. And you can't just like, okay, I'll just like talk to them every once in a while, get a little abused here, but I'll stop eventually. You need to go 100% no contact because your boundaries are shit. They are gone. Like, this person has probably destroyed you in a lot of ways. Your confidence, your ability to think for yourself, your self-trust. You need to put up that boundary. That is your barrier. That will protect you. And you need to go no contact. You have to stay away from them and, you know, block their number, block them on all your socials, stop stalking their social media. So this is really hard because you're going cold turkey on something that is highly addictive, so maybe you'll stalk them a little on social media, but really don't do that, please, for your sake, because it's just gonna hurt you. Don't try and hover around them and see what's going on with their life, see if they have a new supply. Yes, in all likelihood, they have moved on really quick after you cut them out of your life, and they have a new supply and a new person that they can get their validation from, but they're not going to change. They're not going to be a better person for that person. They might put that illusion up, because remember, not everyone knew how horrible and abusive your partner was while you were with them, so it'll probably be the same for the next partner. Even if it looks okay on the outside, it's not. But that's not the point. You shouldn't be worrying about the new supply or your narcissist. You have to go no contact. You can't see them anymore. You can't see them anymore. I mean, I'm not gonna force you. I'm just here on YouTube. I can't, but my voice is in your head. Go no contact. You can't see them anymore. But for you, choose. Choose not to see them anymore. And don't talk to that narcissist anymore. Don't call them. Don't send them birthday presents. Don't write them a note. None of it. You have to go no contact, cold turkey. It's the only way. And if you need to have a support person, a sponsor that you talk to about this and say, I really am gonna need some support sometimes for when I get those cravings and those urges because I had a chemical addiction to this person, talk to a friend, talk to your family about it. Anyone who's there for a support person. As a support person, you can talk to them. And that takes me into the next step, the fifth one, which is realizing that the life that you had planned with this person and all the promises and all the dreams and the fantasy, it wasn't real. So a lot of times with a narcissist, it can be like this dream person, this fantasy. They create an illusion with you. This idea of this extreme hyperbolic romance, and so you have all these ideas about the future, and that's part of what keeps you addicted. Even though things are horrible right now, you're addicted to the idea of your life together with this person in the future, and when, oh, we're gonna live together, we're gonna have our dream life, we're gonna have our job, and you get addicted to this person, and you have to let it go and realize it was never real. It was all a lie. So speaking of letting go, my camera's about to die, so I have to change the battery. So I'll do that, and while I'm doing that, real quick, if you could like this video and subscribe to the channel, that would help us to grow a lot. So I'll be right back. Okay, got the new battery. So the narcissist will drain the battery of your camera just like they drain you. But as I was saying, this dream life and the life that you plan with the narcissist, it was never real. It was all an idea. You said, "I'll love you forever." They said the same thing, but what they really meant was, "I'll love you while you're still a good supply to me." So we can talk about this dream life in the future and all that fancy, wonderful romance, but it's just an illusion. It is a lie. It was never real. So the next thing that you need to do when overcoming the narcissist is to think about other people's perspective. Step outside of your perspective, because you have to realize if you're recovering from narcissism, your mind has been in a place that is not so good, and you'll be very confused, and you'll try to make excuses for this person and rationalize this person and all their behavior and the ways they abused you, but you need to look at it from other people's perspective. So the people around you that are close to you, outside of you, narcissists can be very good at camouflaging, but sometimes your friends notice or your family notices, and you need to listen to them and their perspective. Like, when I got out of my relationship with the narcissist, and even during it, my friends told me, like, yeah, she's kind of not very nice. I mean, they didn't say it that way. They tried to be tactful because, people are honestly a lot of times scared when they're your friend. Like, it can be something you don't want to do, something uncomfortable to say, "Hey, your partner is kind of awful and horrible to you. Are you sure you want to be with them?" But even so, a good friend will tell you that, and if they're making that big strive to tell you that, you know something is up. So when people would talk to me about my narcissist and how she was like a mean person, I didn't listen at the time. So don't be like me. You can do better. Listen to your friends, listen to your family. I was just like, "No, you don't understand her. You don't understand the trauma and the abuse and all the things she's been through." And so in a way, it isolated me even more because I felt like nobody liked my partner, and so I just clung to her even more because I was addicted to her, and I didn't want to see her for who she truly was and how she was truly being. I just wanted to keep making excuses for her. So you need to step outside to the right or the left, just step outside of your own perspective and listen to those people around you who you can trust. And if you're starting to be isolated from your friends and to not hang out with them and think that the narcissist is the only one who understands you and you can only get validation from them and only get love from them, you realize you've got a problem going on. So you've got to step outside your perspective and listen to the perspective of others. The next step is you have to stop blaming yourself. So the narcissist was abusive to you and they turned everything around on you. They flipped it on you and made it your fault. That's what narcissists do. They are master arguers. They are masters at confusing you. It's a huge mindfuck. And so you may have started to think everything is your fault and blame yourself for everything. And it's just like, "Oh, well, if only I didn't do this, then they wouldn't verbally abuse me. Oh, if only I wouldn't do this, then our relationship would be better. It's really all my fault, Maybe the reason that my partner was so awful to me is because of me, I just need to be better." And you start to believe this idea that it is all your fault and you're responsible, and the narcissist will use a variety of manipulative tactics and make themselves the victim to everything and make excuses so that you actually believe it is all your fault. So if you're still with them, get out. But if you're not, you can still be thinking about it constantly all the time, this relationship, because it was such a huge trauma bond. And you will still be blaming yourself and trying to rationalize, "Oh, maybe they weren't a narcissist. Maybe it was my fault. Maybe if I had done something differently, if I had loved them more, if I had been perfect, then they would have changed." The narcissist will never change. Stop blaming yourself. You need to stop making excuses for them. How about some excuses for you? Not even excuses. You went through some real shit, okay? You were with a narcissist, you were in an abusive relationship, and you were isolated. Maybe no one understands what you were going through around you. You went through a lot. So stop making excuses for them and take care of yourself, which is the last step I'm going to talk about, is focusing on yourself and your self-love and your life. So you've spent so much time with this relationship trying to make it work, putting 110% into it, giving everything you can, pouring your soul into this relationship that was just not working, and your partner was still abusing you no matter what you did. So you need to step away from that, give yourself permission to say, I let it go. That relationship was a big part of my life. It is no longer serving me, and I'm going to focus on myself. Because you have some serious healing to do. You probably should get into therapy. You should probably be talking to someone you can trust about what happened to you. You should be journaling, doing meditation, and just focusing on your self-care. And you may have let your life go a little bit, the goals that you had. You may not have been pursuing them because you're putting so much time and energy into dealing with this narcissist and trying to make it work. So you've probably become very codependent with this person, meaning that you're trying to change them by changing yourself, but you need to stop this idea of changing yourself for another person so you can be good enough for them to get validation, and change yourself so you can be who you want to be for you and create the life that you want to create. Because this life is your life and it's about you, and you need to focus on your own self-love. So I have a couple videos on self-love. I'll go ahead and link them right now. But we are pretty much done with this video, so if you stuck around this whole time, thank you so much. I know it's a hard topic, but if you were abused, you're probably trying to research the hell out of this right now and figure out what happened to you. So good job to you for taking care of yourself and doing your self-care. Thank you for tuning into this video. Much love to all my allies out there. If you like the video, go ahead and give us a like. Subscribe to the channel if you want more. I talk about more stuff that isn't just narcissistic abuse, so we can move on to bigger and better things. Keep loving yourself. You've got this. I'll see you on the next video. Bye.